This is Crown Trout Jewelers. I'm here with Liz and Mike. Michael, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
First, Crown Trout. Help me with the name.
I know, it's a little weird,
How did
isn't
this
it?
happen? Liz?
Well, okay. I'll put it in a nutskula.
Can you?
Norwegian for nutshell for
Good.
you. Actually, my background, my mother is Norwegian, of Norwegian descent, so we grew up with a lot of really scary fairy tales. And one that didn't scare me to death was the fairy tale about the basically the landlocked sea trout. So in Norway, you know, there are a lot of fjords, and oftentimes fresh water and seawater coalesce together, and fish get in, and sometimes they can't get out. So the fairy tale goes that a very large sea trout got landlocked in a fjord and got so big that, and basically people came to see him, that he acquired speech. And basically, he would rise up out of the water once a year. He was king of the lake, and he would grant a wish. So I have to wonder sometimes if that isn't a little bit about like throwing pennies in the fountain, because people would bring gifts, throw them in the water,
sure.
and like basically ask about their futures.
Yeah.
So, and became king of the fjord. So crown trout, and then also in Lanesboro we have a beautiful trout hatchery, and our river is host to brown trout and rainbow trout here. So we're famous for that fishing. So it seemed to make sense.
When I looked at it, I thought, oh, it's because of the trout fishing is what it was from. And Crown, have you ever Googled yourself? Because you should.
I try
you
not
should,
to.
because when I did before I got here, you're famous for crowns.
Yes,
you
I
really
am.
are.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, crown and trout, they put it together, and so that. But it's not that. Your story is better. Just,
Well, well, there are some parallels with that, because there is a crown tradition in Scandinavia for brides who wear a crown on their wedding day.
Yeah, which is I never heard of that until, of course, I Googled you.
I'm not in the habit of doing that.
Well, you should.
Maybe I will.
It's good. A lot of stuff comes up. It does. Thanks for letting me in here. And let's talk about this shop. What's made here? The two of you do it together. And how does that all work?
Well, sometimes it works, and sometimes it's a challenge.
When did this collaboration start?
Our collaboration started, I think, 20 years ago, I believe?
Yeah, I think it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, we had known each other for much longer than that. But basically, for myself, I had worked for everyone I could work for in the Twin Cities. And my mother, who is a big entrepreneur of antique jewelry, said, you should come down and check out this little town down in southeast Minnesota. And I was like, what will we do there?
Right.
What will happen? She said, well, you'll be able to do your work there. So I never like to give my mom credit, but for this, I would give her credit, because when we drove down the hill into this place, it was magical.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I probably said something like, I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but we're going to make it happen because I want to live here.
Wow. When I walked in here today and saw that the two of you work together, I just wonder if that's, like, do you see that much? That
other people working together like that?
That collaboration that happens here?
You know what? Probably not.
Right.
Yeah, I think that would be, it's exceptional. And I think you have to check your ego sometimes at the door, but that makes you a better person.
I'd be awful at it. just so you know, I'd be like, no!
Well, I'm not saying I like it all the time or that Liz likes it,
Good.
but we make it work.
Yeah. And what a great story you have here in Lanesboro, Minnesota.
Yeah, it's a wonderful town. It's just a beautiful place. When I got down here for the first time, I was astounded that this place was in southern Minnesota, of all places, with these rolling hills, where I expected, coming from the Twin Cities, I thought, everything's kind of flat.
Yeah, not here.
So it's just absolutely a beautiful town and inspiring. And I get a lot of my inspiration from the nature around here.
That's great. Is there one part of a process in all of this that is, it's like tedious and you'd rather not, but you have to?
So one thing that I do, and I'll show you, so like when I start with a wax, I'll get about halfway through, I'll have a little meltdown.
With the wax?
Like, this is not working out. This is not what I intended. And then Liz is like, you do this every time, keep going.
Oh, good.
And then I'm like, oh boy, that turned out nice.
Bracelets.
Like potato chips, you can't stop at one.
Oh, well, no. It's
No,
fine.
no. These are very, very special.
What are these called?
These are actually Sami Sami reindeer bracelets. And one of the advantages of going overseas to school is that you meet people from all different cultures. So a woman who was my roommate at school was a Swedish lady, and she introduced me to this craft, and I had had no knowledge of this. So basically, this is tin thread, which is, if you can think of like a slinky, like a coil.
Sure.
It's a thin wire that's wrapped around a cotton thread. It's more of a textile technique rather than metal working technique, but you can actually braid it. You can braid with it, knot with it. It's 96% tin, 4% silver, so it has no nickel. So for people that have skin allergies, this is awesome.
Perfect.
They can wear it, and it's all on reindeer hide with reindeer antler button.
Wow.
And this is a very, very old, the material itself has been around for quite some time. We have found that archaeologists have pulled up from graves in Burka, Sweden, examples of this type of work. We don't know exactly how they did it. They always said they didn't use tools, but we don't know that for a fact. And this would be the more ancient use of it. So it's a sort of tapestry technique where the thread is laid down and then it's oversewed with something else. And again, it isn't just something that's specific to Scandinavian culture, but you would see examples of this in gold thread or silver thread in China and Japan and all the places that the Vikings supposedly got to.
Decorative.
Yes.
Yes.
Very decorative, but also super comfortable, great for men and women.
People are wearing these all over town. Of course, you know that. We've run into them before we ran into here, and it was like, oh, where? And they're like, Liz.
I actually teach this. This is a Northern Scandinavian technique. So I've taught at the American Swedish Institute, Norway House, the Vesterheim Norwegian American Museum, any place that we have folk schools around the Midwest,
Yeah.
because we had a lot of like Scandinavian settlers in Wisconsin and Minnesota and Iowa, North Dakota, South Dakota. So this is something that would be pretty familiar to them. But also, too, the Sami are the indigenous people of Norway, Sweden, Finland, and parts of Russia. So this is something that it's called a Sami because we're using reindeer products. They are the people who are basically, they have the market on all things reindeer.
Okay.
And back in 2022, I actually received an American Scandinavian Foundation Fellowship to go to the Arctic Circle. So basically, Michael and I went for 3 weeks in the dead of winter.
What?
Yep. To be with some of these groups and learn about the reindeer culture and research some of the silver work there. And that's where I saw most of these because this is a very predominant craft there.
So your life, based on your art, has been remarkable, right?
You know, when you say it, it sounds.
I mean, it's remarkable.
I feel really fortunate. Really fortunate because I've been able to follow my passion in the way that I've wanted to, and then also to make a living at it.
Yeah, that's a dream.